model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm going to feature my finished 1971 Pontiac GTO here. This is a restoration that I've been working on, and if you followed along you saw me work on this one and complete it. Pontiac for 71, there's quite a number of changes. They did some cosmetic changes and updates to the front end. The dual scoops hood actually moved the scoops farther forward. Changed the grille with the wire mesh grills and moved the headlights a little closer together, but kept an Endura front end. They kept that going, but changed it a little bit here. And then some of the options also had changed, most noticeably in the engine compartment. For the new update and the upcoming emissions and unleaded fuels or clear fuels that were coming, so they dropped the compression on their motors. They also dropped the Ram Air 3 and Ram Air 4 engines. Those were gone, but the new 455 for 1970 did stay, but it went through some changes as well. The 400 engine dropped to 8.2 to 1 compression, and while the horsepower was still rated in the gross ratings for 71, where 72, the motors are virtually unchanged, but the ratings changed quite a bit because they went to net horsepower ratings. But for 1971, the 400 was 300 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. It was available with both automatic and manual, and most of the GTOs made in 71 had the 400 engine in it. Matter of fact, it wasn't a very good selling year for the GTO, but I'll get to production here in a minute. The next step up was the 455 engine, which was L75, which is actually the rarest motor in a 71 GTO, as only 577 of those made it into the GTO. And it was only available behind a Turbo 400 automatic transmission. And that engine made 325 horsepower and 455 foot-pounds of torque. Next up is the 455 HO, which that one was also 8.4 to 1 compression, rated at 335 horsepower, so 10 more horsepower, and 480 foot-pounds of torque. And pretty respectable ratings, really, for what it is. And Pontiac had claimed that the 455 HO was the most powerful engine that they had ever produced up to this time, which is a pretty bold statement because of the way they did the numbers and did the measuring. Didn't quite reflect that into the statistics. I also like the fact that they call that motor the LS5 motor. So if you follow GM RPO codes, LS5 is also the engine option for the standard 454 in the 70 through 72 Chevelles. The one that gets the most history is the LS6, and they had a crate engine LS7. So I think that's funny that it's an LS5, but it's the top Pontiac motor, but they reuse the same RPO code, which I think kind of unusual. They really don't do that, but there are some examples, but that's one of them. But I thought it was pretty cool. Also sharing some information, both 455 engines came with the 12-bolt rear end. Oh, and 936 of those 455 HOs were produced. So when it came to the 455 engines, that was the more common one, but I think it's because that was the standard engine for the GTO Judge. So if you got the Judge package, you got the 455 HO, and you also got the Ram Air package with the Ram Air, functional Ram Air, and the different air cleaner, which I did here. I originally was going to do this one as a 400, but I put this, and I realized this is actually the Ram Air air cleaner, so I did this one as a Ram Air. Even though Ram Air was available on all regular GTOs, but it was an option, you could get a 455 HO in a regular GTO without Ram Air, and some of those were made. But when it came to the Judge package, all Judges were 455 HO and Ram Air. And every one of the 455 Pontiac GTOs came with a 12-bolt rear end in the back. Although this is kind of a generic rear end, so it's really hard to tell if that's supposed to be a 10-bolt or a 12-bolt. They did have a 10-bolt Buick Olds Pontiac rear end, which is not related to the Chevrolet rear end. You could get that rear end in it, which was the standard rear end, whether it was a manual or automatic. If it had the 400, it probably got the 10-bolt rear end. Don't know if any 12 bolts were put behind 4-speeds. But I do know that the lighter version of the 455 was automatic only, where this is a stick, so I did this one as the 455 with a stick. Just trying to keep it as accurate as possible, although MPC kits are really not known for their accuracy, but they look great, and they're pretty easy to build if you get an older kit that the tooling was much fresher. But as these things have been repopped and repopped, the 72s have gotten really difficult to build. I'll get more into that in a second here. But a few other things for the GTO for 71. It was also the first year for these Snowflake Wheels, which I think are really cool. So I added them to these. They didn't come in the kit. I did piece this together from multiple kits. And also, 71, from what I can tell, the grills were steel mesh, and I like the way they look. On 71s, they were flush mounted like this, that I did here, which those are actual 71 MPC parts. But blacked out ones, which are only on the Judge officially. So the blacked out grills are on the Judge. The regular GTOs should have the steel mesh. But they're pretty much the same grill, just whether or not they're painted or not. And Judges would have, these scoops would be painted black as well. So I'm not going to get too much into the Judge, even though I got more into it than I was planning, only because I'm going to build a Judge eventually for 71. I've got a couple more planned. But so I did this one as a regular, one with the regular mirror, and then these are, on the real car, these are stickers. Even though they're molded on here, they really should be decals. But since this is an original MPC and it's molded in, I left them molded in, but I painted them black because most of the time these are black or white depending on the color. So I painted them black on here, and they were kind of a pain to paint. And then I swapped the bumper out. This is a resin copy of the 70 MPC GTO rear bumper from the 1988 kit. It's much narrower and it fits the body much nicer. And so I went with that one. I do have the original one that says 1971 on the license plate, but I decided to go with that instead. I added this mirror and an inside rear view mirror, which I don't remember if the MPC kit had an inside. I think the later reissues did. I added these wheels. These are resin copies. Don't remember where, but I cast a couple of them, so a couple of sets there, and foiled and detailed all of that, and all the 71 parts on the front. Now I didn't quite go all out on the details on this because this kit is kind of lacking. So the underhood stuff, the alternator's in the wrong spot. It's kind of crooked. I kind of left it. I didn't stress about the details too much, but I really hated the air cleaner, and I had this air cleaner. So you saw my video where I cast a few of these, so I can have more of them. The firewall detail is, typical MPC. I spliced this in, the cowl. The original cowl that this kit had is not near as nice. So there's a little bit more detail there, but it's also thicker. So I moved the firewall forward. So if you saw that in there, I did move it forward, which hid the tranny a little bit better, a little bit more accurate, but it's still real gaping up here. But MPC wasn't real good for their underhood detail. My 70 GTO Judge convertible, I really went to town swapping, kit bashing the engine compartment and using a different engine. But this one I decided I was going to leave it alone. It had a crack here in the A-pillar, which I re-glued a number of times because it kept breaking on me. And I had to do a little bit of tweaking. This chassis is from the later 72 kit. I reused that because mine was jacked up in the back. The exhaust was all cut off. So I needed pretty much the entire chassis. Plus it had the race engine. So I'll post in some of the photos of what I started with so you can see what I had. And although all of the 71 specific parts were there that I needed, the grille, the headlights, the turn signals, the main body, and the interior, the only thing I was missing were the bucket seats, which those, even back in 2007 when I got the kit, in 2008 when I started this kit, I was missing those. And a somewhat local friend of mine here, William Scott, also known as Scotty here in Tucson, he loaned me the original bucket seats from his kit so I could cast them and make extras for mine, which is where mine came from. So those are resin copies, and then I ended up casting the rear seat, which this one is the original 71 interior tub, so I really only needed the seats. And I've got a couple of extra sets for my other 2 planned 71 GTOs. But he helped me out, and I was able to come up with those, because even back then Model Haus did not offer these seats for whatever reason. So I was able to get those. That's when my build stalled. I had lots of plans, but there was just this particular MPC kit was lacking in some serious details, and I wanted to make it better, play with it, and I ended up doing that with a few others. But this one was on and off the bench with no clear idea of what I was going to do, what color I was going to do, my total vision. But I knew I wanted to restore it. You know, with your guys' motivations, I showed it to you guys, and all of you got pretty excited. You wanted to see this one, and I did a video between it and the Mustang that I was kind of between. I want to build either one of those, so I did get this one. Got it pretty done and excited, so pretty happy with it. And this hood is actually from the later kit, but I blacked out the underside like you would see on the real car, and painted it and clear coat. I did add the ram air decals right here to the front, so you can see those if it'll focus on it. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, so and they came out nice. They're from Keith Marks from my other Judge decal sheets, but used them on this, which is really the only decal, and this decal on the air cleaner is actually from Keith Marks' sheet also. But you can see kind of the gaping holes and just how the chassis fits, and I had to do some work to get the wheels to fit, although they mostly lined up, but once you start assembling them, things don't quite line up, so I'd like to mount the wheels last because of that. So thank you for tuning in and subscribing, and I hope you enjoyed this one. This was a fun build for me. I was glad I was able to film it and share it with you guys, and I got some more GTOs in my pile along with the other projects to do. But appreciate it, and you guys, you have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you next Saturday.